Hello all. So in today's class, let us see about IoT. IoT, the abbreviation is Internet of Things. So why or the concept behind this IoT is that this IoT makes our life more and more easier. For example, just imagine your life like when you just wake up from your bed, maybe when you just try to switch off your alarm in the morning, like 6 a.m., you keep alarm for every day, and the moment when you just go and touch that alarm off button, just imagine your window curtain just automatically opens for you, and then maybe your fan goes off, and then your light goes on, or automatically your coffee machine just starts making your favorite coffee every day, and maybe your geyser gets on and you get hot water ready to bath. So it is all about making life easier or more sophisticated the way you want. That is all about IoT. Nowadays, IoT is used in different domains like mining, agriculture, space, healthcare, etc. So for example, we have smart cities now, smart health, smart parking, and all these. So, in smart health system, maybe just on the road or highway, if there is some accident that has happened, without any kind of human intervention, nowadays message gets passed to the nearby healthcare center or hospitals, ambulance, or even doctors. How does these things happen? Through sensors and actuators and the routers and towers which are nearby. So once there is any kind of accident or things like that happening by the roadside, the nearby tower gets triggered and activated, and the information gets passed to the nearby healthcare center message without any kind of human involvement here. Automatically the message gets transmitted to the particular nearby hospitals or healthcare centers, and the ambulance just reaches the spot within very less time. And the doctors also get intimation like the ambulance is on the way with how many number of patients or any other details regarding that accident. And the smart cities, like you would have heard about the surveillance camera nowadays connected everywhere throughout the cities, police stations, fire stations, and all these. And smart health, for example, for patients health record, and then for admission, like during the COVID time we all faced a lot of issue regarding this, getting admitted in college, I mean sorry, getting admitted in the hospital, and the bed, the lack of the bed or the oxygen mask or oxygen cylinders and all these things. So in that way, smart health care system plays a major role these days. And also smart parking to find out if parking is available or not in maybe very big malls or any other very big space, a crowded space where people have to wait for hours and hours for just to park their vehicle, or just to get to know if there is a parking lot allotted for them. So we need to understand all these allied technologies in order to understand this particular IoT. What is this IoT? IoT is the network of physical objects. It is a network of physical objects that contain embedded technology to communicate and sense or interact. This it is a network of physical objects that contain these embedded technologies to communicate and sense or interact with internal states or external environment. Okay, it is like physical objects, embedded technology that interact with internal states or external environment. Next is, now what is like previously in IoT definition we were seeing about these embedded technologies. Now what is that embedded technology? It is the integration of computer system into other systems to perform a specific task, particular task. IoT is all about performing the task, right? And all our machines have been invented that way. Maybe just consider your TV or even your washing machine. That's a very good example of this IoT device. So it all works in that particular time slot. What do you mean by this intermittent connectivity? When a connection to the internet or another network is unstable or when it is dropping down, then it is like at any particular random intervals, then we call it as intermittent connectivity. Your smartphone is a very good example of this IoT device. Maybe I'll just tell you one more example. Just imagine you just completed all your work, maybe in your office or in your any business, any other place, and then came home after your work, maybe night, and then you forgot that whether you have just switched off your AC or uh, whether you have just turned off your light or not. So, in order to do that, we have to just by a touch in our mobile, we'll be getting to know whether we have just switched it off or not. Just makes things very easy for us. And next is okay. So how are these IoT devices getting classified? It's been classified into two parts. One is general device, another one is sensing device. In general device, like it has been categorized into our home applications, like maybe our AC, TV, fridge, coffee making machine, and all these. In sensing device, we have the sensors like sensors and other active actuators, like maybe temperature sensor, soil sensor, humidity sensor, and all those. So, how it is actually getting connected, or what is the medium that information is getting passed on? We have a gateway. So, in order to help with this, there's a gateway that is connected between this particular sensor and the cloud, and then we are getting all the informations collected through this gateway, which does the work like transmission work, and then it's being sent to the cloud. Okay. So this gateway plays a major role here. And next is, so what is this? After it's getting stored to the cloud, this cloud can access both storage and processing unit. Actions are performed based on the collected data, based on the particular application for further learning. Next, let's see about what are these wired and wireless interfaces are used to provide connectivity, like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, GSM, and so on. Let me just explain you one small thing about how a soil sensor works. Example, you want to water your garden on a everyday basis, or just want to water it when you feel the plants need some water or something. So we can automate it with the help of IoT with sensors and actuators. What's this actuator? This converts electrical signals into physical motions. What is this actuator? It converts electrical signals into physical actions. This information is sent to the gateway by the connectivity device. It may be through MQTT or HTTP. The gateway aggregates the data and feeds it to the cloud with the help of Wi-Fi. So all the information will be sent to this gateway. It aggregates the data and then feeds it to the Wi-Fi. Once the moisture level drops, like we'll have to fix the threshold value in that moisture sensor. Uh, that sensor which we are going to keep it in the soil. So once it reaches that particular value, what will happen? Once the value drops, then what will happen? It will trigger and open the valve. Maybe nowadays you could see everywhere in gardens and other places. Like we have these water sprinklers, which sprinkles water and waters the plants. So that is how all these things work. It based on the sensors. When it just goes below the threshold value, automatically it just get triggered and get switched on. And the plants or whatever, like even in agricultural field, these things are used. Just gets water. And now we'll just see some important questions here. So before going into these kinds of important questions, we also need to understand, like since we started with IoT, we need to have some knowledge about what is this microprocessor and what is this microcontroller. This microprocessor, it is a very small chip in the motherboard. So it is an important part of the computer without which we cannot perform anything on your computer. Very, very important just for your arithmetic and logical calculations and other things. So this microprocessor is very important and essential part of your computer. Without this microprocessor, you cannot perform any task. It is a digital device on a chip that can fetch instructions from memory, decode, and execute them. What is this microcontroller? Now we saw about microprocessor. This microcontroller, it is a combination of everything, that is RAM, ROM, microprocessor, oscillator, AD converter, input output peripherals, and all these things. So the best example of this microcontroller is, as I already told, the best example is a washing machine. So in a washing machine, if you see there's a like processing is done, RAM ROMs are there, and you can just change those specific times. Like if you want to soak your clothes for like even extra time, maybe 1 or 2 hours, you can change the time. And also if you want to rinse it, you can choose your specifications, and or if you do not want to rinse it, you can choose your specifications. So everything, like if you want like within that particular time allotment, your task will be completed. That is how this microcontroller works. Microcontroller will not work as effectively as microprocessor, because microprocessor, the capability is more, because it is only a single device, right? Whereas microcontroller, we have a combination of all these devices. So that is the reason the capability and the capacity is low here in terms of microcontroller. That is why microprocessor is like that plays very important role. Whereas in microprocessor, it separates and more capacity and capability is there. Microcontroller is a small computer on a single integrated circuit that is designed to perform specific tasks within the system. So it combines the function of CPU, memory, input and output on a single chip. It is used in home appliances, industries, medicals and so on. Okay guys, so in next video we'll be seeing about what are these important questions and what's an embedded system, how does it work and so on. Thank you.